Welcome to Centenary Clinic on Effingham Street, where Rotherham Memory Service is based. All of us can have lapses in memory and concentration, or difficulties with thinking at times, particularly if we are under stress or tired, and it's usually nothing to worry about. However, sometimes this can be a sign of a more serious or longer-term problem, such as dementia. If dementia is suspected, it's important to first see your GP. The GP will usually complete blood tests and other medical investigations to rule out common medical or physical causes for memory and other cognitive difficulties. After this, if indicated, the GP may refer you to Rotherham Memory Service for further assessment. It's natural to feel a bit worried about this, but if you are referred to our memory service, then you can expect a warm welcome from our team who will do their best to support you through the process. In fact, many people don't realise how important it is to get an early diagnosis if they do have some type of dementia. There is some treatments and interventions that may help, and there is wider support from other services and organisations available. All these things can help people with dementia and their families to continue to live well and lead active lives, and therefore it is best to seek help rather than struggle alone.
When you arrive, you'll be met in reception and go through to a consultation room with one of the memory service nurses or another professional from our team. There, the process will be explained and you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. We do recommend you bring someone who knows you well, like a family member or friend, as they can help describe any changes or problems that they've noticed too. It's also important to remember to bring your glasses and wear your hearing aid if you wear one, and to let our staff know if you need any help in any other way, as we want to make this a comfortable experience. During the consultation, we'll ask you about any medical and family history and about your day-to-day life and any difficulties or concerns. We'll carry out some standardised tests to assess some of your thinking and mental abilities. This may sound daunting, but most people find it reasonably straightforward. In certain situations, we can also see people for initial assessment in their own homes. If English is not your first language, we can arrange an interpreter and we'll always adapt our approach to suit individual needs. You may have already had or been referred for a brain scan, and in some cases you may also be seen by other team members or specialists for further review as part of the initial assessment.
Our friendly team here in Rotherham consists of a range of professionals, including consultant psychiatrists, consultant and specialist nurses, occupational therapists, clinical psychologists, and support and administrative staff. We also have access to physiotherapists, speech and language therapists, and other medical specialists, such as neurologists. Whilst you may only see one or two members of the team in person, it's important to know that all the professionals in the service work closely together to share their expertise and knowledge, to assist you and provide you with the best care. All our staff are also regularly participating in and supporting research.
In terms of making a diagnosis of dementia, the team will review and discuss all the assessment information, including the person's medical details and any brain scan results. This process is in line with NHS clinical guidelines and also includes diagnosing a dementia type. So, for example, not everyone realises that there are different types or causes of dementia. Most people have heard of one of the most common, which is Alzheimer's disease, but there are other types too, including vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, and so on. It's important to know the type of dementia a person may have, as it will often affect the treatment offered, particularly in terms of medication.
After the assessment, you will be invited back to discuss the assessment findings. For any patients who are found to have some type of dementia, the details of the diagnosis will be explained. Together, we will work out what your next step will be. Any immediate treatment options, care, and follow-up will be agree, and we will also inform your GP of the plan. Treatment may include medications and the option to participate in other recommended therapies for dementia, including cognitive stimulation therapy, cognitive rehabilitation therapy, occupational therapy, and psychological therapies. The memory service also offers further training and education sessions for family members, friends, and other carers. In addition, the team will also provide you and your family with a range of written information and signpost or refer you to other services, groups, and organizations.
So let me tell you a bit more about what to expect if you have received a diagnosis of dementia. Following your initial assessment, you will be offered a diagnosis or post-diagnosis support appointment. At this appointment, which will usually be the same member of staff you saw previously, we will explain and discuss with you and your family in detail the diagnosis that has been provided, and you will be given the opportunity to ask any questions you may have regarding your diagnosis and any treatment. We will also talk to you about pharmacological and non-pharmacological treatment options that may be suitable for you. By pharmacological, we mean medication, as for some types of dementia, there is medication which might be helpful. By non-pharmacological, we mean everything else aside from medication. So that would include the evidence-based therapies and interventions that can equally help. We will also tell you and your family about the support options available from other services and organisations in Rotherham and how to get more information about these. Examples are information on the Carers Resilience Service, Making Space, Crossroads, Alzheimer's Society, social services, memory cafes and carer groups, as well as other local services. We will also discuss benefits such as attendance allowance and matters such as arranging lasting power of attorney and provide information on other useful initiatives such as the This Is Me booklet and the Herbert Protocol. We may signpost you to other agencies, and this will be individualised dependent upon your needs. In terms of the non-pharmacological evidence-based interventions we offer, they include cognitive stimulation therapy, CST group, cognitive rehabilitation therapy or CRT, positive approach to care group, and strategies for relatives, and we will describe some of these interventions in more detail shortly. We provide information on Carers Resilience Service, Making Space, Crossroads, Alzheimer's Society, social services, memory cafes and carer groups, as well as other local services. We will discuss benefits such as attendance allowance and matters such as arranging lasting power of attorney, and provide information on something called This Is Me and the Herbert Protocol. We may signpost you to other agencies, and this will be individualised dependent upon your needs. Our occupational therapists are also able to work with you and your family about ways to maintain your independence and quality of life, working with you to identify practical solutions to problems, devising strategies to make certain tasks more manageable and to reduce the impact of the condition. They can also advise on a range of interventions to support you, such as assistive technology and various aids and adaptations to help. In fact, it's very important that people carry on doing the things that they enjoy and which help them to stay active and involved in daily life and to continue to enjoy spending time with family and friends.
Cognitive rehabilitation is an approach used to support people with cognitive impairments due to brain injury, and it's been adapted to support people with early stage dementia. At this stage, the brain is able to learn or relearn activities even with a dementia diagnosis. People and their care partner choose a specific activity related to an aspect of their daily lives that is meaningful to them and they want to improve on. They set a goal which is broken down into smaller steps and practiced with a therapist each week, but also with their carer on a daily basis. Cognitive rehabilitation therapy is person-centred and individual. It's goal-orientated,
flexible and solution-focused, and it's built on compensation and enhanced learning techniques. It is also evidence-based. People find that even being able to learn a small daily task that they thought they would never be able to do again is very empowering and increases well-being for themselves and their carers.
Cognitive stimulation therapy, or CST, is a group therapy for people with mild to moderate memory problems. Each session of the CST programme will have a theme which follows an organised and structured process. Themes for the following 14 topics will be covered: physical, sound, childhood, food, current affairs, faces and scenes, word association, being creative, categorising objects, orientation, using money, number games, word games and team quiz.
Really? Well done.
Can I go?
As occupational therapists, we look at the impact of a person's cognitive and physical problems on their functioning, independence, confidence and well-being. For example, affecting someone's ability to carry out daily tasks such as personal hygiene, cooking, cleaning, shopping, medication management, managing finances. Within our assessments, we also look at assessing risk and reducing risks where possible with equipment or strategies individual for the person's needs. Our interventions can support people living with dementia and their carers in understanding their condition. We give practical advice to assist daily functioning, modifying and adapting tasks, activities and environments to help improve people's independence, well-being and quality of life.
Caring for someone with dementia can be challenging and stressful at times. Strategies for Relatives, also known as START, is a programme that focuses on your thoughts and feelings and reactions to caring for someone with memory loss. The START intervention aims to reduce your levels of stress and improve your quality of life. The sessions will focus on providing you with the skills to manage changes in behaviours that are associated with your relative's memory loss. They will look at strategies that focus on your sense of well-being, including communication and relaxation, planning for the needs of your relative in the future, and providing helpful hints for you maintaining the skills that you learn over time. And there will be 8 sessions overall in the programme, delivered over 8 weeks.
In line with national guidance, our occupational therapists in Rotherham's memory services also offer skills-based education and training sessions for family members and friends of the person with dementia. These sessions are based on an approach called Positive Approach to Care, or PAC for short. This is also sometimes known as the SNOW approach, as it's been developed by an American occupational therapist called Teepa Snow. In these supportive and practical sessions, there's an opportunity to learn more about how the brain works and how it's affected by dementia. Participants will also gain a better understanding of the ways that dementia and the associated brain changes might be impacting on a person and how this may be affecting their relatives' day-to-day abilities and experiences. PAC teaches us that the person with dementia is doing the best they can, and that if we are to help and support them in their lives and activities, then there are some simple and practical ways and techniques we can learn to do this, and maybe some changes we need to make in our own approach too, to accommodate their needs, so that we can hopefully be more effective, hopefully reduce stress or distress, and make this a better experience for everyone. The feedback we get from these friendly sessions is usually very positive, with family members and friends saying that afterwards they have a better understanding of ways to help with tasks and that PAC skills and techniques have made a positive difference to their day-to-day lives and relationships. Sometimes people in the session also share ideas and tips based on what's worked for them with their relative or friend, and this can be really useful for everyone. Another benefit is that the occupational therapists that run the sessions can pick up on any specific difficulties, problems or needs, and then be able to offer further advice or input on an individual basis outside of the group.